Welcome to my Lasso podcast. Let's get into it. All right, today is Tuesday's episode, and I have a very, very interesting thread that I'm excited to go through. All right, so let's get to it. You know what we do. What's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? I'm excited to see what desperate shit y'all been doing to get laid. All right. This one's a long one. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm about to put all you mugs to shame dressed on only my shoes, silk boxers, a coat and gloves. I stole my brother's car to go see my girl. I jumped the back fence and go to the back door to knock for her to let me in. Her ass fell asleep and didn't hear me knocking, but her cousin did and thought someone was trying to break in, and they called the cops. I should now explain that they lived in a neighborhood where they were the only family that wasn't cops, so response time was ridiculous. So I see police lights and think, fuck, I need to run. As soon as I flip over the fence, I fall. I stand up to have 10 guns pointed at me and all of their neighbors. I'm trying to explain what I'm doing, which is really hard when you got no shirt on, silk boxers, a cowboy triple fat goose, and OJ's gloves on. This nigga, bro. They cuff my ass and haul me out to the front. When my girl's parents see me, they bust out laughing, identify me, and the neighbors / cops let me go. One cop throws me in the back of the cruiser and throws me in the back of the cruiser and rips my ass for being so stupid and letting me know I could have gotten shot. Everything he said was true. All for sex. Luckily, we've been married for almost 28 years, so we got that going for us. At least there was a W at the end of this story. My man had silk boxers on, cowboy boots, a cowboy hat, and some gloves on, and was just like, yeah, girl, you gonna get it tonight. Oh, no. And then on top of that, it's like, girl, you couldn't have left the back door open for me. You know, like, man, that's wild. That is some wild shit, bro. That would suck. That would suck, man. If he actually got arrested for that. Man, sitting in a holding cell and nothing but silk boxers, that would suck, bro. And man, there other dudes in that cell would be looking at you like, yeah, what's going on, Tasty? What's up? What you trying to get into? Oh my God, that's crazy. All right, what's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? I once hugged a tree and pretended to feel its energy. What the fuck? Okay. All right, bro. All right, my man's is lonely out here. I met a girl at the gym who told me that she was really into running and desperately wanted to run the Swiss Alps Mountain Marathon, but wanted to do it with someone. I lied and said I was also a runner and loved running marathons too. And I said I would sign up with her. Sure enough, 4 weeks later, I'm in Switzerland running a mountain marathon, having never run a single race before in my life. After the race, we dated for almost 2 years. Yo, my man, to get some coochie, ran 26 miles. He ran 26 miles for some coochie. That's wild, bro. I hope it was worth it. I really do. Because, man, there ain't no way in hell. There ain't no way in hell, bro. Nah, man. Nah. There ain't no way. That's wild. That is wild to run that many miles for some coochie, man. Goddamn. Hopefully it was worth it, brother. Hopefully it was worth it. All right. What's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? Drove 45 minutes right after an ice storm and almost died. Things you do when you're young and dumb. Hey, my man was just like, I will risk it for the biscuit. He was like, fuck it. If my car slides off and I die, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Godly. All right. We have a saying in Greek which translates something like this in English: "A single hair from a pussy is strong enough to drag a ship." Most accurate explanation regarding this ever. And it's facts. Facts, man. All right. Let's see. Okay. What's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? I had just moved into my first apartment, invited a girl over to watch a movie. And I didn't have a bed, only an air mattress. I didn't have Wi-Fi yet. I made a Netflix account that afternoon and used the hotspot on my phone for the TV. She ended up coming back like 6 times. Good times. And man, she must have really fucking liked you, man. God, she must have really fucking liked you in order to be getting humped on a fucking air mattress on the floor with a hotspot Netflix. I'm sure the TV was on the floor too. Guarantee that TV was on the floor. And there was nothing else in that apartment, probably aside from the air mattress, the TV, and a chair. You know what I mean? Like, she must have really fucking liked you. Either that or the D game was strong as a motherfucker. Because, yo, that's wild. That's absolutely wild to me. You know what I mean? Like, yo. Yeah, she must have really fucking liked you, bro. All right. What's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? I was studying abroad in Sweden for a few years when I was 21. One winter night, I met a girl out the club and we walked back to her place. It was a university town, so the students' neighborhoods were all pretty close. Her apartment was about a third of a mile from mine. Things started to heat up in her bedroom and she asks if I have a condom. I don't. She checks and she doesn't either. I know I have some back in my apartment, but no way to get them without going home. I asked her if I could run and grab one. Should take 10 minutes top. She agrees. I throw on my clothes and go to the door to put on my shoes, but I can't find them. It's night. I've been drinking, and in Sweden, a lot of these student apartments have everyone's shoes near the door because it's standard not to wear them inside. I just say fuck it and go outside in my socks. Remember back when I said it's a winter night in Sweden? Well, it's snowing, nigga, bro. Man. All right, well, it's snowing and it has been all week. There's snow everywhere and I'm in my socks, so I run as fast as I can the third of the mile back to my apartment in my socks in the snow. I get returned with the condom, out of breath, freezing cold, and my legs are soaking wet. I dry it off, jumped in bed. I got laid, so worth it, I guess. Yeah. I mean, you got the W at the end of the night. My God, but woo, I was so surprised she waited. You know what I mean? I'm surprised she waited because, man, to have to go that far, like that was at least 20 minutes. You know what I mean? At least 20 minutes of her just kind of waiting there, because obviously you got to walk there and then you got to walk back, and your ass is drunk, so it's not like, you know, you were getting there at a timely matter. Let's be honest here. It's not like he was getting there in a timely matter. So it's like, yeah, man. Damn. Hey, it's all good. At least you did it. You did it. All right, what's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? Flew from Australia to Toronto. Yo. What? The comments is saying that's a 21-hour flight to get some booty. 21. Wow. Damn. 21 hours to get some booty. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. That's damn near a whole day on a plane to go get some booty. By that time, man, you'd be so tired from the plane ride and everything. You probably wouldn't even want to get some booty at that point. You're like, man, I just want to go to bed. Like, yo, that's crazy. Hey, things we do, I guess. Oh, shit. All right, what's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? Does the opposite also count? I was couch surfing at some girl's place in winter. She had me sleep on the floor right next to her bed, and her house was really badly insulated, so I was freezing with just a thin mat and light sleeping bag. I wasn't really attracted to her, but Lord, did her thick duvet and large double bed look inviting. So I put on my best seduction mode and it worked. I got upgraded to business class. This nigga, bro. He was just like, hey, I will pretend that I love this girl just to get in her bed, bro. I ain't trying to get in her pants, but I am trying to get in her bed. That is crazy. Oh, man. That's crazy. So that's the most desperate time I got laid for a bit of warmth. That's wild. My man was like, I will pretend all day, every day to get some of that warm bed. He said, I got upgraded to business class. That's wild. My man was just like, hey, I will lie for the warmth. I will lie for that warmth. I don't give a fuck. Man. What's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? I tried to get with a Southern Baptist girl once, like 3 years of side hugs, pretending to enjoy Bible studies, and going to church twice a week, trying to impress her dad. Nothing worked. Turns out she was seeing other guys on the side and didn't give a shit about the religion stuff. Yo! Oh, and if you would have just been straight up with her, like, yo, I'm trying to fuck, she probably would have been down. You didn't have to do, and she probably looked at you like, hella unattractive. He's into all this God shit and this church crap. Not me. I like the guys who don't give a fuck about that stuff. Because I guarantee you, those dudes were just like, man, I don't give a fuck about all that Baptist shit, girl. Get over here. I'm trying to beat them cheeks. And she was just like, I'm about it. About it, you know. And these men's was clapping her cheeks while you were over here, you know, playing church Baptist and shit. Like, yo, that's wild. That is absolutely wild. Man, I bet you he was like, fuck all that, I'm about to just be straight up now. Because I know I would just be straight up at that point. I would just be like, yeah, trying to get some cheeks. You know what I mean? Trying to get some cheeks. Like, fuck that shit. All right. What's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? When I had just turned 18, I went to a nightclub for the first time and wasn't really sure how to approach a girl, so I was just dancing kind of wildly for ages, and eventually an older lady in her late 30s thought I was cute or something and started dancing with me. We went to a table to talk, and she kept talking shit about her ex, so I was just kind of listening and said encouraging stuff. At some point, I was getting another round of drinks, and her friend gave me some sort of warning I didn't understand, saying not her, and I didn't really get what she meant, so I ignored it. Eventually she asked me to go back to her place, and when we got there, I wasn't really sure what would be appropriate or inappropriate, so I kind of waited for her to make the first move, and we ended up just sitting on the couch and kissing a bit. I was taking it really slow, and she mentioned something about that, which I finally took as a hint that it was safe to move on to the next base. But when I started touching her, she randomly mentioned something about meeting her family, and I was like, oh, I thought this was a mere casual thing. I wasn't interested in actually dating because she was way older than me, and she was like, oh my God, all men are the same, and started crying. And then I stayed with her the rest of the night, just talking and trying to comfort her. And then in the morning, she showed me her enormous collection of dolphin toys and said I was really nice, and then I left. So yeah, that was my first unsuccessful attempt at trying to get laid. My friend told me I should have just lied and told her I would love to meet her family in order to get laid, and we had an argument about how unethical that would have been. I mean, if she was just like, all dudes are the same, I'd have just been like, okay, well, look, This has been great, and I would have just left. I get it. You're a super nice guy. You know what I mean? And you're just like, oh, but like, look, bro, if that's not what you're looking for, that's not what you're looking for. That's not your problem. You know what I mean? Like that come on, man. Like, that's not your problem. That's not your issue. If she's looking for a serious relationship from a young guy in the club, like, come on, bro. You ain't gonna find love in the club. You not. Sorry. That's just not how this goes. You don't find love in the club. You know what I mean? All you gonna get is some casual penis in the club, girl. Come on now. What are we doing here? And she out here thinking like, oh yeah, you came back to my house and we kissed and you gonna meet my family? Like, girl, what? Like what? And then on top of that, homegirl is like, what, 30, mid 30s, something like that. Like, why are we even going into that at this point? I guess. I don't know. That's just weird. Like I said, you ain't gonna meet love in the club. And then at the same time, it's like, bro, you wasn't looking for a relationship, and you should have just stood 10 toes like, hey, yo, I'm not looking for a relationship. If that's what you're looking for, cool, but that's not what I'm looking for. And I would have just dipped out. Like, come on, man. If you ain't getting no coochie, you might as well have dipped out. But you sat there and you talked to her and you wasted all that time for what? You know what I mean? For what? Come on, bro. That's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. All right. What's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? I tried to impress a girl by reciting the entire periodic table while dressed as a sexy chemist. It didn't work, but hey, at least I got a good reaction from the bouncers at the club. Nigga. What? Why do you think that would have gotten you laid? He was just like, oh yeah, girls in the club, yeah, they want to hear about the entire periodic table. That's what they want. That's definitely what they want. Yeah, girls in the club, oh, 100%. 100%, man. These little 20-year-old, little bitties, yeah, they that's what they want. They want to hear about the periodic table, man. That's how you get them wet. Like, bro, come on, man. Of course you were unsuccessful, my guy. What are we doing? That's crazy. Yeah. All right. What's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? My very first time, just after turning 17, for sure, texting classmate, and out of nowhere, she mentions her parents are gone for the night. I jokingly say I should come over, and then she actually agreed, which I was not prepared for at all. It was January and pouring rain at 11:30 p.m., but I thought nothing of it and immediately threw on some clothes, snuck out of the house, and hopped on my bicycle and pedaled 4 miles to her house for what was in my mind at the time my once in a lifetime opportunity. So yeah, I get there and yada yada yada. I came down with pneumonia after that and was out of school for a week. I mean, if you got the booty, like, and pneumonia was all you got, it's all good. I'd have been laying in that bed talking about worth it. You know what I mean? I'd be in that motherfucking bed like, worth it. Like, shit. My frog voice and everything, I'd be like, worth it. Oh God, it was so worth it. The walls were sweet. Yeah, I'm just saying, man. And then you were out of school for a week. So even better. You got some cheeks and you were out of school for an entire week. My guy, you were set. You were set, man. Like, shit. I would have been like, let's go, baby. All right, what's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? Travel hours. Granted, I was like 16 and only had a longboard and Florida's unreliable public transportation to rely on. Okay. Sure, I guess. All right. All right. What's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? Read the Twilight series. I got so much shit from my coworkers. Yo, my man read the entire Twilight series to get some booty. She was probably one of those girls where, she had the Edward poster and the Edward, bed cover and all that shit. You know what I mean? He was just like, oh yeah. Yeah, I know how to get this one. I know how to get this one. My man's is at work. He's just reading Twilight. You know what I mean? The whole time. That way he can talk about it with her. Hey, the commitment. The commitment is crazy. And you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of those books, and they're long. The commitment, my guy. What's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? Laughed at a dude's stand-up jokes when they weren't funny. Man. Ooh, girl. You're a gem. You're a gem, let me tell you. Because you're a gem. Because I guarantee that man's confidence was through the roof. Through the roof, that man's confidence. Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, you're a gem for that one. Okay, what's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? Woke up at 3 a.m. and drove from San Diego to San Francisco in a 30-year-old shit box, only to get dry humped fully clothed for 5 minutes while her Korean dorm mate made very pungent kimchi rice. I was a horny teenager, so things still worked, but mostly that worked was my brain afterwards, realizing I had a 13-hour drive home back. Thanks a lot, stupid dong. That's crazy. No. You drove 13 hours to smell some nasty kimchi and get dry humped, bruh? Bro. Come on, man. That's crazy. That is crazy. He was probably just like, oh, yeah, let's. And she's like, no. It's like, what? You know, because, dude, I would be so pissed. I'd be so pissed. Just sit there and get dry humped the whole time. And I'm like, bitch, do you know how far I drove in my 30-year-old shit box? My car barely made it. You know, I was putt-putting on the freeway the whole way. Oh, you gonna do this to me? Like, come on, man. Oh, shit. My man was hot, bro. He was like, come on now. I was hoping that the putt-putt was worth it. God. Oh, it'd be like that, though. It'd be like that. Man, my man probably had like a 1990 something. You know what I mean? Yeah, he probably had a 1990 something just on the freeway for hours. Hours just like, yeah, I'm going to get this booty. It's about to be worth it. Only to get dry humped. Like, damn, son. That's harsh. That's harsh, man. Oh. Damn. All right. What's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? This nigga said, I got married once. Man. That's crazy. Yo, you know they were Mormon. You know they were Mormon. Because it's wild what these Mormon kids be doing just to get laid. Like, they will date or they will marry a girl they don't even know. It's like, oh, how long y'all been together? 3 months? 3 months? You know, like, they will get married. They will go into legal binding marriage to fuck. That shit is crazy, bruh. Man. He was like, this soaking thing, it ain't for me. This whole, I need a friend to shake the bed for me? Nah, I can't do it, bro. All right, what's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? Girl was hungry at 11:30 p.m. and didn't have transportation. Asked if I'd help her get something. Nothing was open, so I made a burrito and brought it over to her. I mean, you better have given her a burrito. You know what I mean? Like, bruh, you know, like, after you done eating that burrito, you gon' you know what I mean? You gonna help my bean and cheese? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You gonna help my bean and cheese out? Like, I'm just saying. Like, shit. I made you a burrito. Like, what we doing here? Man, my guy was out here on a mission. He was just like, you know, like, come on now. All right, I'm going to do 2 more. What's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? Got back together with my ex. Can I recommend? Yo. That's wild. Low key, I feel like that's why a lot of guys do be going back to their girls. or to their ex or whatever, just because they're like, you know what, I can get some box real quick and that's that. You know what I mean? And she's thinking like, yeah, he wants to be back in a relationship with me and things are going to work out. And he's just like, whoo, I just wanted to bust a nut. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep her around a little bit, just, until, I get somebody else, I guess. And that shit happens way too much. It is wild. But, hey, you know what I mean? Hey, they be letting it happen. What's the worst thing what's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? Use Tinder. I think online dating made me realize I need to have a certain level of trust in someone before I'm emotionally ready to have sex with them. Yeah, bro. Honestly, like, dating apps have proven to me that it's just, dating is not even a, like, I don't know. It's not even a thing about just getting to know each other anymore. It's just like, you know what? Like the way I like your face. You know what? I like your face too. Let's make this work. And that's what I've noticed in like a lot of dating apps and experiences and stuff like that. It's just like, I like your face. I like your face too. Let's make this work. And that's just the end of it. That's where it goes. Are there some people that, they go a little deeper and they dig a little deeper into their partner and so on and so forth? Sure. But for the most part, it's just like, yeah, I like your face. I like yours too. Or very arbitrary things that girls will kind of just go for. And the dudes, they're just going for anything. You know what I mean? Girls are just like, you know what? He's got this one thing that I really like. And it's like, bam, Like, I remember there was one girl, she didn't like anything about me. She just liked that I had tattoos. That was it. She was just like, oh yeah, because I was like, oh, what about me, that intrigued you, And she's just like, oh, you have tattoos. And I'm like, that's it? And she's like, yeah, pretty much. I'm like, oh, all right, cool, I guess. You know what I mean? Like nothing about my personality, nothing about like my interests or anything like that intrigued her. It was just, you have tattoos. I like that shit. And I'm like, that's it? That's all you liked? Like, I guess. Sure. I don't know, man. I just, and I guess that's what makes dating so hard. It's like, damn. But I don't know. Is what it is. But that's going to be the end of today's thread. Hope you guys enjoyed the thread. That was a wild and crazy thread, man. Y'all done some crazy shit to get laid out here, man. Especially homeboy that flew from Australia to fucking Toronto. You're crazy, man. And the dude that drove all the way to San Francisco to get dry humped, man. You crazy. Y'all motherfuckers is crazy. There were some W's in there. Give it to you on that. But man, y'all is crazy. I'm sure I have a story like that, but I can't think of it right now. I don't think I have that crazy of a because I don't think I've done anything that crazy to get some coochie. I don't know. You know what I mean? But hey, you guys take the cake on that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, we're gonna hop into announcements and then we're gonna get into our scenarios for today. Patreon.com/MyLastPodcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenarios to be featured on Tuesday and Sunday episodes like these people did today. If you're an audio listener, download the podcast, rate us 5 stars, helps out a lot. And if you are, if you want to help more on the free 99 side of things, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, as well as the HooTubes. We just started Haunting Adeline Book 2, so if you want to get in on that, links down in the description of our first episode for that, and just in case you missed it. If you want to get caught up, we do have a separate link and a separate playlist for Haunting Adeline Book 1, so that way you can watch all that, get caught up, and then start Book 2. Got that for you. We just finished A Court of Thorns and Roses, so that full series is up and ready to go for you guys to check out. Links in the description for that as well, whether you're on Spotify or YouTube. Both links are down there. I realized I didn't have both links. I didn't know that I didn't have a YouTube link and a Spotify link. I think I only had a Spotify link, so I went ahead and changed that up for you guys. There is a YouTube link as well as a Spotify link in there for you, so you guys can kind of have both. For the YouTube, it is an audio only, you know what I mean? But some people prefer YouTube over Spotify. It just is what it is. So get down there, check all that out. Without further ado, though, let's go ahead and get into our first one. This first one is just titled Husband and Lollipop. I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, but let's get into it. All right, I, 25 female, have been married to my husband, 26 male, for 4 years. I am currently pregnant, IVF baby, after years long battled with infertility and IVF. Dang, that's crazy. She's only 25 and she's having fertility issues. Wow, that's surprising. He recently attended a 2-day bachelor where I was told there would be only topless female waiters. Okay, but there was actually 15 to 20 women over the course of 2 days, including shows by sex workers. One show included a lollipop being inserted into a sex worker, and then the groom licked the lollipop and put it in my husband's mouth without consent. My husband came home and kissed me multiple times. I had a feeling more happened at the party than just topless waiters or waitresses, I guess. After a very long discussion, he admits there were sex shows and so many women at the house. He swears he was faithful. Finally, after going through every detail, I find out about the lollipop, and I was disgusted and so devastated that he didn't think anything of it. The risk of transmitting an STD isn't high, but there is a risk, and he was so careless about it. We both been so careful for sanitizing things, staying away from sick people, as we don't want to risk the health of our miracle child. I am confused how he couldn't think that this would be a problem. Am I overreacting? Yeah. Because, I mean, if he did a little something worse, understand, the lollipop was put in his mouth without his consent, okay? It's not like he had the lollipop and he put it in the girl and then he put it in his mouth. That didn't happen. And you even stated that the lollipop was put in his mouth without consent. All right. So, and on that information alone, that's where I think that you're overreacting, because he didn't choose to put that in his mouth. It was just done, And I understand that, the way the bachelor party was, I mean, there was a bunch of boobies out and, sex worker shows and all this kind of stuff. And I don't think that was that much of a problem for you. You know what I mean? I think you kind of trust him that he didn't do anything there, because it doesn't seem like you had any distrust about it. I think the only thing that you had a problem with was the lollipop. And I think that's why the story is called Husband and Lollipop. But if I'm being honest with you, I do think you're overreacting, just because it wasn't his consent to have the lollipop in his mouth. The girl just put it in her cooch and then put it in his mouth, and he was like, oh shit, okay, huh, wow. And you, like I said, you stated that the girl put it in his mouth without his consent. And I think that's why you're overreacting. I get it. You want to be sanitary for your baby and, STDs and all this kind of stuff. If I'm being honest with you, I don't personally think that it could be transmitted that way. Unless maybe, he had like a cold sore or a cut on his lip or something like that, then I could see possibly how it could. But I mean, if he doesn't, everything should be fine. It should be all right. I mean, a lot of times, these working women, if you will, they do have to get tested very frequently. So that way they are safe, to perform whatever it is they're performing, or to be around people that they're around, so for the most part, like, I wouldn't be too worried about it. And I do think you're a bit overreacting, and it seems like you trust him in him saying that, he didn't do anything there. So again, yeah, I think you're overreacting, but you let me know in the comments. Do you think he wasn't, being faithful? Do you think that, she's justified? If she's justified, how? Because I don't really see how she's justified in it. Again, with that one statement of, the lollipop went in his mouth without his consent, that's where it kind of like, okay. I mean, it was like, it wasn't his idea to do it. I guarantee you the lollipop went in his mouth and he was like, oh shit, okay, wow. Girl, you doing too much, But like I said, we don't know. But that's why I think you're overreacting. That's just me. All right, on to our next one. You guys let me know what you think, though. All right. Husband's coworker sends him inappropriate photos of herself. Oh, she's sending a little coochie pitch. Oh, goddamn. We'll see. My husband, 38, and I, 37, have been together for 15 years, married for 5. He works remotely, so he's on the phone all the time. He has plenty of female co-workers whom I'm cool with. A year ago, he and this particular female co-worker would send selfies of themselves in everyday life and call each other bestie and say I love you, etc. When I discovered this, I told him how upset I was, and it seemed like he cut personal ties with her. Yeah, the whole I love you thing, that's a little too far. I mean, you can do the besties, that's fine, but the whole I love you is a little crazy. Yeah, that's a little too much. You know what I mean? I don't know about all that. I messaged her then to keep things strictly professional with my husband. Recently, I found photos of her saved in his old phone, a couple of selfies of her in a bikini. I was trying to save photos of our current children before we got rid of the phone. He said he sent it in a group chat iMessage with him and another guy friend, and he said he didn't think anything of it and doesn't know how it got saved into his photo gallery. Mind you, their photos sent at different times throughout the last several months. However, why would he have her photos in the phone? It'd beat his meat. You know what I mean? Come on now. And I am naive to believe him. He says, I'm blowing this out of proportion. We have 3 kids, 1 on the way, and I have difficulty trusting him. Side story, 2 years into us dating, I found him having an emotional affair with another girl, and I forgave him and continued our relationship until now. Damn. Personally, I don't really think that they're just buddies. You know what I mean? Maybe on her end, but still, there still could be something there. I mean, my man's got 3 kids, but if I'm being honest with you, 3 kids don't really stop motherfuckers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, 3 kids don't really stop a motherfucker from cheating. Yeah. And then his girl's pregnant now, so it's like, bro. So that, again, that's a little wild. I personally think it's a thing where he maybe just fantasizes about her. It's not really like he ever thinks anything will happen with her. And I don't think he tries anything with her. It's just more of like a, I'm just going to be besties with her. I think she's hot, and I would love to fuck, but I'm not going to let it get there just because I already know the situation that I'm in and I ain't trying to ruin that or make it anything, but I can fantasize about it. And I think that's why he has the pictures there, because he's just like, yeah, I could fantasize about having sex with her, but I'm not going to actually, do the things, what I mean, that it takes to, get to that point with her. And you never know, she might, feel the same way and kind of want something like that, but I don't know. Maybe not. I have no clue. Yeah, if I'm being honest with you, I don't know, but yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, so personally, like I said, that's what I think. I think that he wants to fuck her, but he's like, nah, I'm not going to do that, but I will fantasize about her. And I think that's why he has the pictures. You guys let me know what you think, though. I could be wrong. You know what I mean? You could agree with me. You could not agree with me. If you don't agree with me, let me know what you think. What you think? Is he hooking up with her? Is he, doing little slide things? Has he sent a little penis pic? You never know. You never know. So we'll see. All right. On to our next one. Am I wrong? I invaded my boyfriend's privacy by going through his iPad photos and found some bad things. Am I wrong? Hey, so I, 25 female, went through my 29 male's boyfriend's iPad the other day as I had some suspicions about things. I ended up finding his hidden folder in his photos was completely gone. So when I turned it back on, I found screenshots of my friends' photos. Friends I'd recently introduced to him. And they're not nudes or anything, but it's selfies, body shots, things any 20-year-old girl would post on Instagram, and VCSCO. I don't know what that is. Okay. It's made me feel extremely uncomfortable knowing that he has a spank bank full of my friends' pictures. I know it's bad on me for going through his private stuff, but am I in the wrong for finding the information I did? I haven't said anything to him and it's been eating away at my subconscious for a few days now. I feel guilty for going through it, but also feel so angry about him hiding this stuff from me. The fact that he's hiding it tells me he's got a guilty conscience for whatever he's doing with them. Am I in the wrong? And what the heck should I do? I mean, look, you gotta be real with yourself. My man, he's beating his meat to your friends. It is what it is. He is, and he's hiding it because he knows you're gonna have issues with it. All right, he already knows this. He already knows you're gonna have issues with this, so he's hiding it. You know what I mean? He's beating his meat to your friend. I think it's like the last situation where I don't think he's going to do it. He wants to, but I think he looks at it like, nah, I got a girl, so I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? But I'll fantasize about it. You know what I mean? Either that or he may look at it like, it's just, used for me. It's just porn to me. You know what I mean? Like these pictures are just like what porn would be. I'm just beating my meat and that's that. Now, if you found some text messages and you found, him trying to like really slide with your friends, then we'd be having a different conversation. But the fact that it's just pictures, and I guarantee you even your friends don't even know that he has these pictures. Like, let's be real. You know what I mean? Like, our friends probably don't even know that he has these pictures. So I really don't think it's as serious as you think. Are you wrong for going through his stuff? Debatable, I guess. I mean, it kind of depends on you and your relationship and your boundaries and, how you guys are. That depends on you. I really can't say if you're wrong or not on that because every case is going to be different, For me, I'm the type of person where if you want to go through my phone, cool. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Here you go. But yeah, it just... Some people are like, ew, no, you're not going through my phone. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where it's like, all you have to do is talk to him about it. Hey, what is this? You know what I mean? I happen to see it. Apologize for going through it, you know what I mean? And be like, look, I'm sorry, I got a little nosy, but I want to know what's going on. What is it? Is it just, for you to beat your meat, or is it like, are you, interested in them or whatever? And, come at it with like an understanding kind of thing. Cause like, I always feel like women want, us to be understanding of, their position and feelings. But when it comes to the other way around, they immediately want to attack. And it's like, no, don't do that. Come at it with some understanding first, you know what I mean? And then based off of the next pieces of information, then you can choose to either be on the attack or not. You see what I mean? It's like, put your emotions away a little bit. Think about this a little logically and go ahead and, try to have a conversation with them first. Be like, hey, what's this? What's going on? Is this just... spank bank beating your meat, or are you really trying to be with these girls? You got something for them, Try to come at it with some understanding. That's how I would do it. That's how I'd say it. As far as like, are you wrong for going through his shit? Again, that's base by base. That's just kind of depending on who you are. Like for me, I'd be like, here, go through my shit. I don't care. Or I'm the type of person where it's like, if I get a text, hey babe, can you read that for me? Can you write it back? Just because I'm like, I ain't got nothing to hide. I don't really care. I'll give you my password, and you know what I mean? Most phones nowadays require you to have a password, which is kind of nuts, but hey, I understand if you lose your phone, you know what I mean? And a lot of times our phones are wallets. So it's like, it's definitely understandable to have a password on there, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But you guys let me know what you think. All right. Let's see. Am I overreacting? Caught my boyfriend taking a number 2 in his hand. What? All right. My 26 female boyfriend, 36 male. Damn. So you guys are 10 years apart and this nigga doo-dooing in his hand. 2 years. Was in the bathroom at his apartment when I opened the door to grab my allergy meds. I didn't think to knock and figured he'd lock the door if he needed. But when I opened it, he was squatting on the floor while holding a wad of toilet paper directly under his ass. I screamed and ran out. 5 minutes later, he called me. There was no denying what I saw. So he came clean and said he does it to make less sound as opposing to crapping directly into the bowl because he's shy and would be embarrassed if I heard him doing it. I'm freaking out still. Am I overreacting? Yo, what? No! What? What?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
No! No. This man said... This man says I squat on the floor and I catch my doo-doo in my hand so that way it's you don't hear me dookieing. What? Oh my God. You got to break up with this guy. There's no way. If the streets hears about this, and they're obviously going to, and I truly feel like the only reason why you posted this is because you have broken up with this guy. And if you haven't, Lord have mercy on your precious little soul. Because, yo, that is crazy to me. My man doo-doos in his hand and then puts it in the toilet so that way you don't hear him pooping. That's wild to me. I don't care who the fuck I'm dating, bro. You're gonna hear me doo-dooing. I don't care. You know what I mean? You might even smell it if you're too close. I'm just saying. Because I'll be up in that motherfucker like, oh, ooh. You know what I mean? I'll be up in that motherfucker. I'll be getting work done. And like, you gonna hear me doo-dooing. Like, come on, man. Why would you be embarrassed of some shit like that? It's natural. It happens. She doo-doos. You know what I mean? She poops. It happens, bro. It's natural. But you squatting and catching doo-doo in your hands, that's not natural, my guy. That's not natural. That's wild beyond belief, if you ask me, man. God damn, son. Woo! Okay. God. You let me know what y'all think about that one. I don't think she overreacting at all. I really don't. That's just crazy. You can go get you another man who don't doo-doo in his hand, man. He a grown-ass man, too. This nigga's 36. Doo-dooing in his hand. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. That's wild. But all right, this is gonna be our last scenario for today's episode, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, found used condoms hidden in my partner's car. Ooh, what has he been getting into? My partner and I have been together for 5 years, and throughout we have had struggles with infidelity and lying, mainly his part. He has ADHD and autism and says that this is the reason he struggles to process how he feels and emotions. And this is why he acts on impulses. Okay. I've been really trying to believe it after the first time. Yesterday, I went to his car to get something and looked in the compartment and found hidden underneath the top of mine some used condoms and wrappers. Why would you have used condoms? What the fuck? When I asked him about it, he says he was coked and driving around and took it to pleasure himself. However, there were like 5 condoms opened. If this was the case, why would he take so many? I just don't know what to believe and need advice on how to confront this head on or just walk away. What? That makes absolutely no... Why would you have used... Now, I understand if you found condoms in his car. Okay, that's fine. All right, I get it. But used ones? That what? What, you keeping them as souvenirs or something? Bro, what are you doing? Throw them shits away. What the fuck are we talking about? Why, what? And then he was just like, oh yeah, like I slipped a condom on and I beat my meat and then that was that. Yeah, you know, like, huh? Who the fuck gonna believe that? Hey bro, come on man, let's be real here. Who's gonna believe that you were in the car, you put a condom on your penis, you beat your meat, and then you slipped it off, and then you put it in your glove box? What kind of weird shit is that? Like what? What? That makes no sense at all. Not one bit does that make sense. Like this man is lying like a motherfucker to you. He is lying like a motherfucker, and for some reason he's keeping the condoms. I have no idea why. Yeah, I have no idea why. I'd get out of that relationship just like the girl who's dating the dude who's doo-dooing in his hand. You know, like I would have just been like, yo, look, nah, because there's no trust in that. There's no trust in that. You got 5 used condoms in your car, bruh. And then your excuse is that you put them on and you beat your meat. Like, no. I'm sorry, bro. I would leave that relationship ASAP. I'd leave that relationship. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, that could convince otherwise in that relationship. Like, that relationship is cooked, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you too, doo-doo girl. You know what I mean? That relationship is cooked. That I would have ran too. You know what I mean? If I saw a girl squatting down, catching doo-doo in her hand, that's crazy. I'd run too. I'd be like, bitch, no, we're done. Like, that's crazy. That's wild to me. You either doo-doo in the toilet like a normal person, or we ain't being together. That's just wild to me. I ain't doing all that. But yeah, so, oh man. All right. That's going to be the end of today's episode. That episode got crazy at the end. What the fuck? Y'all be dating some crazy people. And I mean, some people just, they don't deserve to be dating. It's just crazy. Y'all need Jesus. You need to fix yourself. My God. But that's going to be the end of today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate all the support you guys have been showing. I'll see you guys on Thursday for Haunting Out of Line, chapters 3 and 4 of book 2. Excited. That book is so good. It is super juicy. I'm so glad that we're getting back into it. I'm super excited about it. But yeah, I'll see you guys on Thursday. I love you all, and peace.